are we doing today? Today we're promoting Lions, Connecticut Lions 23C, and the idea, of course, is to be able to get a lot of information out to the people about Lionism. And there's so many different factors of Lions that people think, well, gee, all we do is Lions classes, and we want to do a lot more. Tonight's guest is Mary Krogh, Lion Mary Krogh, past district governor. And Mary is also the current District 23C treasurer, and she is chairperson for the honorary and humanitarian recognition. Lion Mary is a member of the East Hampton Village Lions and lives with her husband, Lion Ted Krogh, in East Hampton with a whole bunch of different animals, which Mary will explain. Mary, welcome to the show.
Great. I am thrilled to be here, Tom.
I'm thrilled to have you. We've been friends for so many years.
Too many years.
So why don't we get a little plug in for your animals, because we were just talking about your animals.
Well, what we do, my husband Ted and I, is we run the Circle K farm,
Yep.
and we do pony rides and petting zoos. So we take up to 100 animals to an event, whether it be the Ledyard Fair, the Hebron Fair, or Nature's Art in Waterford, or a school.
Wow.
And depending on what we're hired to do, we teach the kids about the animals.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, we'll show them an alpaca, we'll show them the cut wool of the alpaca, and then I'll show them my alpaca gloves that have made, so the children can relate from the animals to that.
Mm-hmm.
We bring a camel. In fact, I must say that Polly just celebrated her 5th birthday party, and we had a party, and she wore a birthday hat. And if I thought of it, I would have brought one of the pictures.
Oh, wow. I know I've been to your farm, and you do have a lot of animals, so there's a lot of work.
It is, but we love it.
Yeah, you've got to love it.
The animals, they're family.
Sure they are. Sure they are. Last time I was at your house, what did you have, an ape or something in the basement?
Well, I rescue primates.
Oh,
We
okay.
keep it low key. We don't exhibit them because we don't feel that primates really belong in the public.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I remember a lot of noises down there.
Oh yeah,
Torture
they
chambers.
holler and they talk.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. That is cool. And you're doing something for the public, which is, I think, is necessary.
Right.
And I've seen your zoo out at the different fairs and things. And I found it fascinating that you make most of your money on the quarter for the seeds. But that's fun because the kids love to do it.
They do. And of all the animals, the little pygmy goats
Oh, yeah, yeah.
are the ones that they love. And we always have one or two that escape from the fence, and they go and they visit everybody.
Wow.
And then Ma calls, and they go running back in.
That's cool. So tell me about the humanitarian award, because that's what you're here for today.
Right.
About it.
It started 4 years ago. Lions International has a foundation called LCIF, or Lions Club International Foundation. And through the foundation, all the clubs in the world donate money. And it's up to the clubs to decide how much money they care to donate to. And there's a board of directors, and this board determines where the money is spent. And all the clubs around the world submit wishes. And these directors, or I call them fairy godmothers, they grant the wishes. So for instance, if the Ledyard Lions wants to come up with a project and they don't have enough funds to do it, they can apply for a grant, and if it falls within certain categories, their wish would be granted. Another part of LCIF is disaster relief. And during Hurricane Sandy, our district governor, Jan Miller, immediately contacted LCIF, and the next day, he was sent a check for $10,000. Actually, it came to me because I'm cabinet treasurer for him. And the various clubs decided where the money was needed.
Right.
And they submitted their wishes to Jan, saying, this town needs X amount of money, and Jan granted the wishes. So we had 30 days to spend the money. And now Jan and I are going over a lot of paperwork. Getting the money was easy,
Yeah.
but the paperwork
Oh,
to
wow.
substantiate where the money is spent
Yeah.
it's difficult. But that's part of LCIF. And
Now,
LCIF,
if I could just add in there that New London was the recipient of the $2,600, and to give you an example of what we did with it was to provide food for the Gemma Moran Shelter Food Center in New London, and they were thrilled to death. We actually gave them, I think, about $3,200 worth of stuff because the ShopRite gave us a great discount. And so we were able to buy a lot of food with that for the people who had used up all the food bank stuff. And thanks to you and Jan and LCIF, we were able to do that. I'm sorry,
Right.
go ahead.
Rick Sharp, the owner of Tri-Town Foods,
Yeah.
gave several of our clubs food at wholesale prices.
Yeah.
So like the Montville area, the 3 clubs in Montville combined, they gave out $2,500 worth of food that they spent.
Wow.
But in actuality, it was probably more like $3,000 or $3,500
Yeah.
with the discount that Tri-Town gave them.
Yeah.
The East Hampton Club spent over $800 at Tri-Town, and I think we tallied it up, it was like $1,500
Wow.
that we were able to give for relief in the East Hampton area. But that's just what part of LCIF does. But LCIF, we have partners. And one of our partners, for instance, is Bill Gates.
Oh.
Bill
Oh,
came
that's
to
right.
us,
Yes.
and Bill says, you know, the increase of measles is really on the rise, not only in the third world countries, but also in the United States. And measles could be fatal.
Yeah.
So it only costs $1 for the vaccine.
Wow.
So he challenged us. For every dollar that we raised, he was willing to match us 50%,
Wow.
up to like $5 million.
Huh.
So we took the challenge,
Uh-huh.
and we did it.
Fantastic.
So LCIF, we realized that we can't do everything alone. As great as Lions is, it's the world's largest service organization, we need help. So we partner with different entities. Bill Gates was one of them, World Health, the Carter Center, the United Nations. So 4 years ago, locally, we wanted to honor non-Lions that do a lot in their communities.
Sure.
So that's what the start of the humanitarian dinner was. We asked our clubs to go to their communities and find a non-Lion that either lives or works in their community that's outstanding for community service. The clubs submit a letter, and they give us a one-page write-up on the person. And on February 9th this year's nominees are going to be coming to Groton.
Wow.
Each nominee will tell a little about them. They'll receive some certificates and proclamations from the governor, from the state, from Congress, along with some other private companies will give us a little donation. American Distilling in East Hampton for the last 4 years gives them a little bag full of American Distilling products, which is witch hazel,
Oh, wow.
and hand sanitizers. And Ed Jackowitz from American Distilling does a fantastic job giving us these little goodie bags for them. So it's their night.
Yep.
And these nominees, they can pay for anyone else to accompany them.
Okay.
So they'll bring their family, they'll bring their friends, they'll bring their coworkers, and it's amazing who they bring with them. And then the Lions clubs that sponsors them, of course, comes.
Yeah.
And what we do is, I'm the only one that knows who the recipients are.
Oh, okay.
And every club that submits a nominee is entitled to one vote. And I divide the district into categories. For instance, let's say we had North Stonington, Ledyard, and New London, along with that grouping of people. The clubs that have their nominees, each club will have one vote, and I'll have them read the letters from other clubs in our district.
Ah.
So let's say they may read Middletown, Durham, Killingworth, and they'll pick out one winner.
Wow.
So we normally get between 2 and 4 finalists, and then I send the finalist letters out of state to one of our international leaders. They'll read the letters, and they'll determine which one should be the humanitarian of our district.
Okay.
And that person will honor them with the highest award we can give them, which is a Melvin Jones Fellow.
Right.
So that night, one of our recipients, one of our nominees, will walk home with a Melvin Jones Fellow, which is really quite an honor. But
Yes, it
all
is.
the nominees that come, they feel honored.
Well, sure.
One year we had an international past president as our keynote, and because he was from Texas,
Yes.
everyone received yellow roses.
Huh.
Okay? And it's fun. I hate boring banquets, so I always make sure that these banquets are far from boring. The
Yeah.
Coast Guard in the past has come with their flag ceremony, so we have the flags come in. We had Marilyn Monroe come one year,
Really?
and Marilyn came in. She was late. She was dressed in costume, so she came running in, and she apologized for being late, and then she did a great song. And it catches everyone off guard.
Yeah.
Last year, we had Jen Berlini come, and she had Toto from The Wizard of Oz.
Ah.
And it was the original dog
Really?
from Broadway,
Ah.
and she came. So we always do some interesting fun.
Yeah.
Last year, the chief of Mohegan Suns was our keynote speaker.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I am thrilled. I'm going out on a limb, and we're bringing in a mentalist.
Oh, really?
And this mentalist is nationwide. I can't tell you who he is, because if you go on his website, you'll see one of the things he's going to do, and it's going to spoil the excitement.
Oh, John.
But he's performed for the IRS. He's
Wow.
performed for Procter & Gamble,
Ah.
AT&T. He's quite the speaker.
Wow.
I heard him a year ago at another function, and I knew we have to have him. So the general public is invited. So we want everyone to come on February 9th so they can listen to these great humanitarians and what they've done, and they'll also listen to the mentalist. Because the mentalist can't really give us his full show
Yeah.
within the 20 minutes that our keynote is allowed, after the humanitarian dinner, he's doing an after show.
Oh, really?
So for about an hour, he's going to give an after show, which it'll be fun.
Wow, that's cool. February 9th,
Saturday night.
Saturday night. Now, I know we can't mention prices and things, but I think that this is a fundraiser. And so how much are the tickets?
The tickets are $38.
38, that's reasonable.
We want to make it reasonable.
Yeah.
It barely covers the costs.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really even say it's a fundraiser.
Yeah.
It's more of a service project where we honor our humanitarians.
We try to put as much money back into the community and help the community by applauding one of their best. And of course, all the Lions are the best, but
No, I would say that, in fact, I have to chuckle
yeah.
because one year, one of the clubs nominated a president of the Rotary.
Oh.
Okay, and they brought a whole group of Rotarians with them.
Huh.
And afterwards, he came up to me and he says, "You know, Mary, of all the people that came in as humanitarians this year, and there were 20 of them, he counted 12 were Rotarians."
Oh my Lord.
So it was comical that he mentioned that.
Yeah.
I can see it, and in a lot of towns, I know East Hampton is a good example, we frequently will partner with the Rotary.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's been a lot of that going on because for the most part, clubs are getting weaker.
Right.
Because of the economy and people got so many different ways to go. They're sitting home with computers. They don't want to go out. And it takes a lot of time to be a Lion.
Right.
You really have to enjoy it. I do. I've been 38 years.
Yeah.
And it's just, but it's something that you can give to the community. Doesn't cost you a whole lot. And you can go out and do different things like feeding the people who have lost so much during Sandy. New London Lions has the breakfast. Everybody has a breakfast that we
Right.
go out and feed people. Very reasonable prices. And you get a good food. And all of our money that is donated to us goes 100% to charities.
Absolutely.
And
In
there's
fact,
no administration fees.
before you're district governor, you have to go to district governor school.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they stress is when Melvin Jones started the Lions in 1917, he started it, and one of the stipulations was nothing could be personal gain.
Right.
And as district governor, when you go to the various clubs, you're asked to be certain to be on the lookout for a club that maybe someone does profit, or if some money from the public is used for administrative funds. That's a no-no.
Exactly.
Every cent has to go back to the public, and the governor is stressed that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's nice to know because you see some of these fundraising that has 18% is used for admin funds or even higher,
Right.
or 10%, which and I like the story of how we set up with Yale, and was it Yale?
Yes.
Yeah, and every single dollar goes to research, and there's nothing goes for, and that was the stipulation we made with them, nothing for salaries.
Right.
So it's purely, and we donate a lot of money to them. Thank God.
Right. But we also donate a lot of money to UConn.
Yes.
UConn is a little more low-key about it than Yale, but they're both great centers.
Yeah.
And Connecticut Lions Eye Research Foundation is really instrumental in both of their research programs.
Yeah. The Lions do so much, and you can go town to town, and nothing's the same.
No.
Yeah. I mean, you go town to town where they're working differently. I remember one of the clubs that when I was zone chair, Salem, they used to they donate wood.
And they still do.
Do they still?
Absolutely.
Which I thought was fantastic. Like they go out and chop wood and donate it to people who need it.
Right.
And that's, they don't have a lot of money, but boy, they got a tremendous service.
Yeah. And that's what's great about the Lions Club. Every club is different.
Yeah.
And there's no set fast rules where they have to donate to a certain charity.
No.
Even LCIF, our own foundation, it's highly encouraged for them to donate to it. But the amount they donate is up to them.
Exactly.
We have clubs that do more service projects than they do fundraising.
Yeah.
And then we have other clubs, Hebron, for instance. With Hebron Fair, the Hebron Lions, the money they donate is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
But we certainly don't expect, we'll say Salem Lions to donate the same amount as Hebron. Yet they are both fantastic Lions clubs, and they're both, to me, they're both equal.
Yeah,
on the good that they do.
They do 100% of what they do.
Exactly.
And what they can do. And you can't ask for more than that.
No.
And Franklin's another small club that they do all kinds of things, and it's just there are clubs. If anybody wants to join Lions, all they have to do is get a hold of me, you. We always got the
Right.
screen website on the screen, and you have to be invited. But come to a meeting, see what it's like, and you'll find out that you walk in the door. There's no doctors in there. There's no professors. There's no. Everybody is on a first name basis. We're all the same. We don't try to be better than
Right.
each other, and that I think is something that everybody's on an equal plane.
Right.
There's no politicians. There's no politics. There's no, and there's certain things you just can't cover in a Lions meeting without starting some kind of an argument, and we don't want that. And we want nice, easy going.
Right.
Well, how can we help somebody else?
And if they visit one club and they just feel, geez, this doesn't fit me, it's not something I really want to get involved with, go to a different club.
Try
Because
somebody else.
every club is different.
Absolutely.
In East Hampton, for instance, there's 2 different clubs.
Yeah.
East Haddam has 2 different clubs. Montville has 3 clubs. And they'll all work together,
Yeah. Waterford's got 2.
but they're all a little different.
They are, and they don't interfere with each other either because they're doing different things.
Right.
And it's just, you see somebody out there working for the Lions, if you find out there's an event going on that the Lions are sponsoring, please go, because we need the money.
Right.
And it's not just paying money for, we spend a lot of money locally.
Oh, yeah.
There's a terrible amount of money that's spent locally because we get the money locally and we want to give it back locally.
Exactly. And I think most clubs, that's their attitude.
Yeah.
They'll
Oh, yeah.
give to LCIF and they'll give to the foundation, but they prioritize their own town.
Exactly.
And they should.
Yeah. I know one club spends like $10,000 for Christmas for the needy.
Right.
And that's a tremendous shopping trip to go on because you feel so warm inside because some poor person has nothing. And you try to, I have to tell you, I went on one year and I had a Jaguar. I just bought a Jaguar. It was sold a Jaguar. And we get up to the people's house and they got kerosene burning and you know they don't have anything. We get in the car and the kid in the back seat goes, "This is a Jaguar." And I looked at my buddy, I said, "Next time we take your car." It wasn't any big deal car because that was about 25, 30 years ago. But but it just shows you that, you know, what we have, we think we don't have anything. Then you find out that somebody's got a lot less than you do.
Oh,
And-
absolutely.
And those are the people you try to help.
Right.
And a humanitarian of the year is the person who is out there helping other people. He's not just doing it so that he can make a profit, a bigger profit. Some not even business people.
And you know, the people they nominate are unbelievable. And it's tough to judge who they are and who's going to win overall.
Yeah.
Because how do you compare a person that has donated $100,000 to a cause versus an 85-year-old woman that has worked at a soup kitchen every week for the last 40 weeks? They're both fantastic. They both given back to their community. But
Yeah.
which one is better?
Yeah.
And which one deserves
Yeah.
the higher recognition?
That's a tough decision.
So it's tough.
And you do get the cream of the crop of the community.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's
And
just-
I'm always amazed at who they come up with.
Yeah.
And wait till you see who's coming up this year. It's really amazing. And the stories are just as great as what they've been in the past.
Wow. I gotta make it a point this year to go.
And
It's,
it's a fun night. It's people are on the edge of their seat because there's always little things going on,
Yeah.
and the excitement of the humanitarians and what they've done and who they are. And then we have a professional actor dress up as Melvin Jones, our founder of Lionism.
okay.
And he goes around and he greets everyone and he welcomes them to Lions. And he'll tell people a little about Lions. And it's funny because he doesn't know who the Lions are and who's not.
Yeah.
So he'll walk up to someone and he'll say, "Hi, I'm Melvin Jones." And he expects them to know that he's the founder of Lionism. And it's
Who?
someone that isn't a lion and has no idea who Melvin Jones is.
Wow.
So it's funny. And then we celebrate his birthday.
Yeah.
And we always have a big birthday cake, and it says Melvin Jones on it and so forth. And I have to tell you, it's funny. It's always three-tiered, and it's quite large. And we roll it in on a cart that's in a quilt that actually has lions on it. And last year, I decided I wanted a regatta cake.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the old Saybrook Lions was in charge of rolling it in. Well, I'm at head table, and the person next to me goes, psst, psst, psst. So, and then they whispered and said, Mary, what happened to your birthday cake? I says, nothing, it's over there. And they says, you better take a look at it. Well, the regatta was too heavy. So the tears went down. And it wasn't as nice as what it should have been.
I hope you got pictures before.
We did. And then the first year we did it, Melvin Jones was and Melvin blew out the candles and held on to the cart. Well, when he pressed out, the cake went up.
Oh, no.
Fortunately, it went down quick enough and we didn't have a disaster. But it brought us in laughter. And so it's a fun night. We always have a great speaker. The speaker will be great. The price is as reasonable as we could make it. The $38 includes a half hour of hot and cold appetizers,
Okay.
all the soft drinks you can drink. So unless you want a beer or a wine or something like that, the $38 is inclusive. There is a small raffle if you want to participate in it. But it's a fun night, and we really encourage everyone to come out, come and meet your humanitarians, meet the Lions, and hopefully you'll consider joining us.
Absolutely. And you'd be amazed at the people that you know that are there.
Absolutely.
You know, whatever town you're from, there's going to be somebody there from that town, and it's a good organization. And that's going to be, once again, it's going to be February 9th, and it's at the Groton Inn and Suites, and it's going to be at 6:30?
6:30. Well, 5:30 is cocktails. The dinner's going to start at 6:30.
Okay.
And that's because we want to get people out as early as we can.
Yeah.
Because you never know how the weather's going to be, and people do travel for a bit.
And of course, there's always a spot to stay at the Groton Inn and Suites.
Absolutely, and they do give us a discounted price that night if you do want to stay.
Yeah. That's good.
And they'll enjoy it, and they'll be in awe at what goes on in their own community with some of the people and who they are.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for being here, and I'm hoping people do show up. We always have interesting people from the Lions coming in George and my show, and I want you to understand that we do raise money through fundraisers. We don't keep any of it. We can't. It's illegal anyway. And we ask you to donate and attend our functions. And coming up, we got January's raffle tickets for the Leffingwell House and Norwich Lions. Saturday, and on Thursday, Groton Lions Book Drive at the Groton Inn and Suites. And February 1st is Oktoberfest, comes to the Midwinter Conference. We have a Midwinter Conference from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that's up in Cromwell.
Yes.
And that's a tremendous event. Join the Lions and go to Midwinter. You'll have a great time.
Dick Blumenthal, Senator Blumenthal, is going to be our keynote speaker for the luncheon on Saturday.
Oh, really? Wow, he's cool. No, on February 3rd, we got a super pancake breakfast Super Bowl at the Lions Club. And in March 14th through 16th, New London Lions Club will be selling food at the Connecticut College Home Show in New London. On April 23rd, we have a 90th anniversary for the New London Lions Club. And that's going to be at the Groton Inn and Suites, and you can contact any New London Lions member for tickets, of which I am a member, so you can contact me, and tickets will be available soon. Once again, for the Lions who know Angelo and his wife Bella, they're both in, well, Angelo's in Wesley Hospital and Bella is in I think it's a Clipper
Right.
convalescent home.
And past District Governor Fred Curtin is in Water's Edge Rehab in Middletown.
Oh, really?
Okay. He fell. He broke his neck.
Ah.
Then, while he was in the hospital, he fell a second time,
Oh, boy.
broke his shoulder. So
Wow.
he's in tough shape right now. So
That's a shame.
if Lions could send him a card,
Send a
it would
card, send prayers, and thank you very much for watching. And remember, the Lions logo is reserve.
be.
Thank you, Mary.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.